I am the Grand Cat, and today we have the last 40 minutes of PCC. We currently have 50 draft picks, so we're going to have to get those out of the way, and then we will continue for the next 40 minutes to see what rank we can get in PCC. We're currently ranked just over 1,000. I don't know if we'll be able to get under 1,000, but we can certainly try. And whether we are at 1,000 or under 1,000 doesn't really matter. We've already completed campaign mode, and we are just getting ourselves an additional Bayley just for fun, I guess. Big the Cat says hello. Hello, Big the Cat. Hello, Alex Gardner. Welcome. Welcome to the live stream. Alex says, I'm glad I've done campaign mode. Yes, I saw that you did. Congratulations on that. And Alex, if you could, just make sure that the links have indeed been shared on our little Discord server. And that will alert the Grand Cat Grand Fleet to come along to the live stream. You can just ask one of the mods to @ everyone and let them know that Grand Cat is live. Big the Cat says, how is PCC going? We will take a look at that in just a second. We're just going to get these remaining draft picks out of the way, and then we're going to go and do PCC for the rest of the stream. Well, not for the rest of the stream. We'll be streaming after PCC ends. But for the time being, let's jump right in. And we are currently at rank 1,070, and let's continue going along here. I'm just going to try and bring up the chat in front of me. And Alex Arnold says, I've asked. Thank you, Alex. Very much appreciated. You can see that the Grand Cat Grand Fleet are slowly making their way in. We've got 9 people watching at the moment. Tony Ross says, hi, Grand Cat. Hello, Tony Ross. Thank you for coming along. So we're currently at rank 1,070. I don't know if we're going to get into the top 1,000 or not. It's now 19 of you watching. Wow, there was a big jump up in the past couple of seconds. We're now up to 24. The Grand Cat Grand Fleet are jumping in. Hello, everyone. Welcome all. Alex Arnold says, someone's going to do it. Thank you. Very much appreciate that. We have 37 minutes and 43 seconds left. Still says we're ranked 1,070. I'm trying playing this with my left hand here while I drink a can of Pepsi Max with my right. Yeah, remember to stay hydrated. Alex Gardner says, I'm going to play mine. I'm going to have stream on still. That is the idea. You've just got a big old Grand Cat that you can play alongside. You can have me on your television or on your second phone or your iPad or your laptop or whatever it is that you watch your YouTube videos on, whilst also playing WWE Supercard on your own device. And how is everyone else in the chat getting on with PCC? Big Busman says, greetings from Busland. Busland is a horrible place. You wait around for ages and nothing ever happens. I myself used to have to use the buses when I was long before I was a Grand Cat, when I was a mere kitten, when I had schools and such to go to. And I would sit there and wait for hours on end for a bus to arrive. And inevitably be late for school, which I was shouted at for. Oh, those buses. Those lousy, lousy buses. Although when I was in school 300 years ago, the bus hadn't been invented yet, so maybe that's why I was waiting so long. And perhaps that's why I was so late for school. Big the Cat said, didn't grind much, but 4,500. Not bad. That is pretty good for not grinding. I think this might be one of those PCC events that not an awful lot of people have been playing. Big Bossman says he is currently ranked 5,073 right now. We are now ranked 1,068. We've went up 2 ranks, an entire 2 ranks in the games that we have played. And this is literally all that I have been doing. I've been playing a little game called Bistro, which is a fun little game. I've been playing that for 2 days now. And we've just unlocked the Mighty Traverse. Granite Steel says, hi, Grandcat. Hello, Steel. Welcome. Welcome to my little live stream. We're still ranked 1,068. Oh my goodness. And we're against Pooh Bear. I wonder if this is the Grand Pooh Bear, who is a speedrunner. Tony Ross says I'm at 885. Oh, you have been grinding indeed. We have been doing this entirely for free, not spending any money on PCC, which is always nice when you can play a ranked event without having to spend any money and you're still doing pretty well. Instead, all it takes is time and effort. And even if that's barely effort, I can actually play this left-handed. We've been live streaming for 7 minutes and we have went up 2 ranks. I'm not sure we are going to reach that under 1,000. Fun Times Alex says, hi, 2 accounts ready for new tier. My goodness, 2 accounts. I've never understood the point of having multiple accounts. It makes sense in things like Puzzles and Survival, which is another game that I play, where you can have a farm account. I don't, but I've seen other people that have a farm account and then they just give their resources to their main account. So they've got a secondary account that's just sitting there picking up various different food, steel, wood, resources, gas, and then just transfers them all to their main account. But I've never understood the point of having a second account in W Supercard when there's no way to trade and no way to give stuff to your main account. And yet lots of people do it. I've never understood why. I don't think I have the time for a second account either. Not even sure what I would do with it. Certainly wouldn't play... The last thing that I would do is try to complete events twice. That would be crazy. There we go, 2 Hulk Hogans here. Those Hulk Hogans are going to be buried by King Kong Bundy and Otis. Let's see who we're feeding Nikki Bella to. Oh no, it's Liv Morgan. Connor Tries Weird Stuff says hi. Hello, Connor. Welcome to my live stream. Welcome every single one of the Grand Cat Grand Fleet members. And if you are a Grand Cat Grand Fleet member and you want to be one, you can do so for the low price of free. Because in order to become a member of the Grand Cat Grand Fleet, all you have to do is click that subscribe button, and you will be on board the Grand Cat Grand Fleet, where we will sail the internet and bring all your hopes and dreams along. Let's come aboard and bring along all your hopes and dreams, and we will find everything that you are looking for. There's always room for you if you want to be my friend. We are on a cruise. We are. This is, of course, the Funimation English opening of One Piece. At least I think it is. I've got to type in a code here. It is 994. Is that Funimation? Or was Funimation the horrible One Piece rap? Dreamin', don't give it up, Luffy. Dreamin', don't give it up, Zoro. Dreamin', don't give it up, Nami. Give it up, give it up, give it up, let's go. Travis Waller says, getting serenaded by the Grand Cat was not my 2026 bingo card, but alas. Yes, Grand Cat will on occasion break into song every now and then if prompted. Oh, Big Boss Man is at 4,983 now. I think that means that he's grinding and even spending money. Very, very rude Bossman. He's not rude for spending money, he's just rude in general. Ask him yourself. He's proud of it. Bossman says, how rude. I was trying to think if I had anything else there that I wanted to sing, and most of them have swearing, so it's not exactly something that I want to go doing on a live stream. A lot of Eminem that I know the lyrics to. I think YouTube does allow a small amount of swearing, just not in gratuitous amounts, and it's something that I just try to keep off my channel. I like to try and keep the Grand Cat streams nice and family friendly. We've had 34 people watching right now. Oh my goodness. A lot of Grand Cat Grand Fleet members. Thank you all for coming along. Certainly means a lot to me. Means a lot to this big old Grand Cat playing away at PCC here. We have 27 minutes and 20 seconds left. We're currently at rank 1067. We went up 3 ranks. My goodness. An entire 3. Charles Waller says, I think there's a rule where you cannot swear for the first 30 seconds of a video, but I'm not too sure. I believe that's the case. That is what I've heard as well. Don't know how it works with live streams, but generally, I tend not to swear. Being Scottish, being a big old Grand Cat that was from Scotland, the swearing tends to be a part of our vocabulary, so I do try to hold back on that when I can, but not just in live streams, in life as well, because if you swear all the time, yeah, then you get annoyed at someone, and then you swear, it doesn't mean anything. But if you never swear, and then you get annoyed at someone, and then you swear, people are like, whoa, he's angry. People will take notice. It also tends to come off a lot more hilarious when someone that never swears does come out with swear words. So there's certainly a reason to hold off on your language. Let's see, what topics can we discuss in today's live stream? Well, we are grinding away on PCC. Well, I suppose the hot topic at the moment, at least the past week or so, was PlayStation announcing that they are doing away with physical games. And I was actually, I was wandering around Glasgow in various shops, and I was with a friend, and I said, you know, at the moment, I actually buy all my games digitally on my Xbox. I don't actually buy the physical ones because I'm not a fan of swapping out the physical discs. And he said, yeah, but you don't actually own them, and if they get taken off the web store, then you don't get to play them. And I was thinking, well, if they get taken off the web store, probably won't have the ability to connect to the internet anyway, and how much of the game is left at those points. But I actually understand that there's a much bigger reason for having physical copies of games, because a big old grand cat like me and a lot of the other members of the Grand Cat Grand Fleet can happily afford to just buy new games. But there is a lot of people in the world who rely on second-hand games that can't buy them brand new. And without physical copies, there won't be any second-hand games. There won't be any children sharing their games with their friends after they've completed one and traded it with one of their friends. There won't be any buying a game and then trading it in to get money back, or selling your game online to make some money back that once you're done with the game. Also, if Sony are not making any physical games, they hold the entire digital monopoly, and they don't need to put the games on sale. They can just leave them at whatever price they want. And also it cuts down the manufacturing costs for Sony, so they make a lot more money. The only ones that are losing out are the people that rely on the physical games. Travis Waller says, I suppose a lot more people will have to end up game sharing with each other. Yes. Yeah, assuming that Sony will even allow such a thing. Also, another point that I saw on the internet that I hadn't even really considered is when it comes to Christmas and children are wanting their new favourite game. Raymond says hi. Hello, Raymond. Then what are parents going to do? Are they just going to wrap up the empty box that has a little download code in it? Is that the future of birthday and Christmas presents? Doesn't seem very appealing. I think the way that I see it is there's still a lot of use of physical media, and I don't think we are quite at the point where we should be getting rid of that. Raymond says, what rank are you so far? Well, we started on 1070, and I believe we got up to... We're now at 1065. We went up 5 spaces. Kiki Beach says, hi, Grandcat. Will Lyra Valkyria be available in backstage? Yes, she will. The person that wins, everyone gets that card, everyone that's in the top 10,000. But the one that loses, they will be available to buy on the backstage. However, it will just be a regular special edition card, so if you do want to use the Lyra Valkyria, you will need to buy 2 of them, train them both up, get them both their 100 matches, get them both their 100 levels, and then pro them, and then you will have the equivalent of a special edition card. Nefus says, yo, I play Supercard. Me too, in fact, I'm doing it right now. Kiki Peach says, when will she be available though? Probably about the time that the Bayley card gets sent out to us. So that tends to take just a little while. Generally about an hour after the event ends. Sometimes it can be a little longer, sometimes it can be a little shorter. But don't worry, your Lyra Valkyria will be there if you do so want that particular Lyra. Yeah, it's quite cool. It has a unique image. But it certainly seems that Bayley is winning this one. Raymond says, how was your 4th of July? Well, my 4th of July was actually fine. Wasn't too dramatic. Here in Scotland, we don't celebrate 4th of July in the same way that it's celebrated in America. Of course, America, it is your Independence Day. Your Independence Day from the British, which unfortunately Scotland is still part of, although we have tried our best to remove ourselves. But yes, no, so the UK and generally other places don't tend to celebrate the 4th of July quite as much as America, but we are very, very appreciative that you do, because Scotland and America are forever brothers in arms, as we should say. We have fought many enemies alongside one another. We have common allies. We have common enemies as well that we've taken on. So whenever we see you guys being happy, we're happy. In fact, recently Scotland was over in Boston for the World Cup, and Boston seemed to really enjoy having the Scottish over there. KeyBH says, I thought it will be tomorrow night at Reset. Well, by tomorrow night at Reset, the Lyra should certainly be there. But it does tend to arrive a little bit earlier. Shane Lee, says, hi. Hello, Shane. Granite Steel says, my rank is 3,126. Well, I think the duo will be in that top 10,000, as we are just about 19 minutes away from the PCC ending. And then, at some point about an hour afterwards, we should all get our wonderful little rewards. 18.5 minutes left. And I'm currently at rank 1,064. So I think I'm probably going to be around this point. I don't think I'm going to break into the top 1,000, and I don't particularly care to do so either. KeyBeach says, my rank is 8,000. Will my card be better than a normal Leviathan Pro? It should be. It should be. Should in quotation marks. Now, this is the thing not a lot of people understand when it comes to these ranked events. The ranked event does not only rely on what your rank is, but also relies on what the card is. So, for example, if you had a ranked Chad Gable, say at rank 1,000, and you had a ranked Roman Reigns at 1,000, your Roman Reigns would be significantly stronger than your Chad Gable, purely because it's Roman Reigns. So this one is Bayley, and if we were to compare Bayley to the likes of Rhea or Liv Morgan, perhaps the Rhea or the Liv Morgan might have a little bit higher stats than what your Bayley would, but if we were to compare your Bayley to someone like BFAB, then your Bayley should be stronger. Generally, so long as you get the Bayley in the top 10,000, it should be higher than a regular Leviathan Pro. If you get somewhere in the ranks of 3,000 or such, you tend to have one that's better than an Event Pro. If you get into the top 1,000-ish, then you've got one that's better than a Heroic, but not a double Heroic. You have to really be in the top, like, 300 or such for it to be better than a double Heroic. And then if you're anywhere in the top 10, you've got one that's stronger than pretty much anything else in the game at the moment. Raymond says, I haven't really been playing that much. I'm still at rank 4,095. My Guy Hunter says, hey, I'm rank 169. Wow, you have really grinded this one. Travis Walker says, I feel there are so many female PLE and special edition cards this tier. This seems a bit pointless grinding like crazy. I slightly agree. I mean, some people really like Bayley, and if Bayley's one of your favourite superstars, then why not grind? Why not try and get yourself a decent little card. But I think the other part is that we have been in Leviathan tier for a little while now. I've been in Leviathan tier for about 6 weeks, and I think that there is less need for a female Leviathan event card. I think that might be... I think that may be why a lot of people aren't playing quite as hard. My guy Hunter says, I'm aiming for 20,000, then stopping. Raymond says, wonder what the next tier is going to be. It's going to be SummerSlam. That's what the next tier will be. It will be the SummerSlam 26 tier. Then after SummerSlam, we normally would get a little regular tier in between there and the next one. Sometimes there's a Survivor tier, and then generally that leads into the reset, of which we'll be going into season 13. Dominic says hi. Hello, Dominic. Raymond says, isn't SummerSlam sometime in August? Yes, August 1st, actually. I think that's what I was told. I think I was told it's right at the start of August. Also, speaking of actual WWE, Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso fought on SmackDown for a number one contendership, and the winner was Cody Rhodes. And Cody Rhodes is apparently getting that title match not at SummerSlam, but tonight on Raw. Which means, are we going to see Sami Zayn lose the title in his first title defense against Cody Rhodes? And the reason that the SmackDown title, held by Sami Zayn, being defended against the SmackDown superstar, Cody Rhodes, is happening on Raw is because it's happening in Chicago. Yes, folks, we are on the lead up to SummerSlam, and I think you all know that there is a very famous wrestler that very famously comes from Chicago. I am, of course, talking about the Second City Saint, CM Punk. So, does that mean that after the match, CM Punk is going to come out and take Cody Rhodes up on his offer that he offered just after WrestleMania, saying, if you want the title, come and find me? Is CM Punk going to return to promote a match between Cody Rhodes and CM Punk at SummerSlam to go alongside Roman Reigns facing Seth freaking Rollins at SummerSlam, as well as the Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar in a Hell of a Smell match? Now, let's see here. Raymond says, I want to see Cody win. Travis says, surely not. It would be kind of funny, though. Bossman says, surely Sami should win. Well, you would think, if WWE was intelligent, that they would have Sami Zayn win. But unfortunately, this is WWE we're talking about here. Now, the rumour that I had heard, and of course, take all rumours with a pinch of salt, a pinch of delicious, delicious salt, but the rumour that I had heard is that the reason that Sami Zayn had won the title is because he was going to lose the belt immediately to Brock Lesnar, and Obafemi was going to face Brock Lesnar in Brock Lesnar's retirement match in Minnesota at SummerSlam in a Hell of a Cell for the title, and would also crown Obafemi in his first championship. It would also give Brock Lesnar one final title run before he heads off into the distance. But apparently that didn't happen, because we now have 3 main events, which is Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar in a Hell of a Cell, Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins, and the rumoured CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes as the 3 main events of SummerSlam over the 2 nights of August 1st and 2nd. Tony Ross says August 1st and 2nd. Thank you for that. Spanner says, hey all. Raymond says, hello. Spanner says, is Dr. Jackal in the chat? I am honestly unsure. I can never remember who people's YouTube names are as well as their WWE Supercard names. Travis says, is Raw on at 10 p.m. UK time? I don't believe so. I think it's on at 1 a.m. and someone can correct me if I am wrong here, but I think it is now back from America, being that Raw is going to be in Chicago tonight. So I think it's one of those 1 a.m. until 3 a.m. deals. But it does seem like the kind of thing that you may want to watch live if you don't want to see spoilers. I personally will be trying to keep myself awake long enough to watch that title match. The only dire thing about watching Raw live on Netflix is the constant ads. Spanner says 1 a.m. on Netflix at the moment. I didn't even realize that Spanner was from the UK. That's cool. I have learned something today. I never know where my Grand Cat Grand Fleet members are from. It's got 30 people in the chat. We've been streaming for 30 minutes. That's 1 Grand Cat Grand Fleet member per minute. Thank you all for showing up. It means a lot to this big old Grand Cat. We now have 31 watching. We've been streaming for 31 minutes. If this keeps going, we could be streaming for the next 4 hours. And we could have a lot of people in the stream. That would be crazy. Travis says, okay, thank you. Spanner says, you're so wrong. We all love the doop ads. Oh, good lord. We'll be right back. Oh. I hate those ads. They're horrible. Also, at SummerSlam, will we finally find out what Danhausen has been working on? That would be interesting. Now, what do you guys think is under the sheet? It's obviously a person that Danhausen has been working on, like Frankenstein's monster. I have heard rumors going from Baron Corbin to Big Cass to Enzo Amore to even one so far as saying Batista. Spanner says, it's got to be some spooky zombie Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin is the one that I'm kind of leaning towards. Oh, we've got 38 people in the chat now. Welcome, everyone. Thank you all for coming along. Also, everyone that works anywhere near Danhausen gets on a massive, amazing push because Miz and Kit Wilson have some hilarious gimmicks at the moment, being the zombie versions of themselves. Matt Cardona was really doing nothing other than spinning his wheels until he got shocked by Danhausen. Now he's got the Zack Ryder, woo woo woo, you know it, and take care and spike your hair. That we have that all going for us once again. We're now at rank 1055. Spencer says Enzo and Cass are probably coming back as a pair, I would think. Yes, I think that would make sense. Have them as a tag team. I have also heard that Sheamus is not renewing his contract with the WWE. He has said that he was not offered a lower payment. He just decided that he needed to step away from WWE. He has now changed his profiles to, instead of saying Sheamus and saying WWE Superstar, it now says Professional Wrestler. And a lot of people are thinking that Sheamus may be on his way to AEW, and he may very well join the Death Riders purely so that he can be in a tag team alongside Antonio Cesaro, of course, now known as Claudio, and that Sheamus and Cesaro can reform the Bar and go after the tag team division, because the tag team division in AEW is fire at the moment, with the likes of Edge and Christian, FTR, even the Young Bucks, although I don't think the Young Bucks are anything that special, but lots of people out there seem to disagree with me. So I think that the tag team division in AEW is probably the best tag team division in the world right now. Certainly a lot better than the tag team divisions on Raw and SmackDown at the time being. So I think if Sheamus and Cesaro were to get together, that they could run magic in AEW, and I think it would be really, really cool to see that. Spanner says, did I remember it right? Last week, Kel Swettleton says awesome, suggesting that they've been brain swapping. That would be funny as hell. Yes. Not only that, but when Zack Ryder walked past Matt Cardona, when Zack Ryder walked past Kit Wilson and Miz, I think Miz went woo woo woo, and Kit Wilson went, you know it. So I think that there is a ridiculousness happening. It is obviously supposed to be the corny 1930s, 1920s science nonsense that's going on with Danhausen. So it's just leading into some entertaining angles. Oh. Bayley now has 4,444,416 wins for her. Could get to the point where we see 444444444. That would be fun. I've also heard rumor of Heidenreich. Heidenreich. The Heidenreich and Alex McGillicuddy. Both proof that not everyone that's Paul Heyman guy gets actually pushed to the top of the card. Do require a little bit of skill as well. And we've now surpassed that 444. We're now at 446. 4,446,000. But I think that tonight's Raw could be a special one. So if you haven't been watching WWE for a little while, I think now might be a good time for you to tune in, because I think this could lead into the setup for SummerSlam. And I think SummerSlam, if you remember last year's SummerSlam was actually better than what WrestleMania was. So I have expectations for SummerSlam this year. Spanner says Heidenreich wasn't like super terrible, but we're way past that surely. Well, I think if Heidenreich comes back as a fun, ridiculous character gimmick for Danhausen, I could certainly see a scenario where that works for him. Try and do this as quickly as possible because we don't have much time left on PCC here. Two minutes and 5 seconds remaining. We're currently at rank 1054. We are approaching the end of PCC, which I'm very thankful for. I don't know why these events have to last for 4 days. I've always said that if a PCC event lasted for 24 hours, that I think I could grind really hard and get into the top rankings. But I'm just not prepared to do that for 4 days straight. Especially since a lot of people work on weekends, including a big old grandcat being one of them. So there's a lot of time that I have spent where I'm not actually fixated on my phone, sitting here tapping away like this. Also, personally, I think I prefer if everyone in the top 10,000 just got the same card. Spanner says, because money, whales. Yeah, that is true. I mean, I think they could still have the little number on it so that you have the number of what rank you were. But I think if everyone all got the same cards, it would maybe make things a little bit better. Got 15 seconds left. Can we get one last game in here? This should be the very last one against Woo! And it might even stop us partway through this game. Or after the game finishes, it might tell us that the event is over and not actually count the victory. Spanner says, I don't think I agree with that. I would like there to be a lot less tiers. Maybe 1, 2 to 10, 11 to 100, 101 to 1,000, 1,001 to 10,000. Yeah, I could see that. And the event has now ended. Thank goodness for that. The event ends in 5 hours and 59 minutes, and we got 946 wins, and our rank was 1,051 at the moment, but that could very well change. Let's see where our rewards would be if we stay on 1,051. Then we should be between 899 and 1,066. So hopefully we should be in that area. And if we drop down a little bit, then we'll be in this area instead. So there is the numbers that our level 0 Bayley should roughly look like. Of course, we're going to have to get her Royal Rumble variants. And of course, we're going to have to get her 100 matches as well. K Breezy Forever says, it's crazy how Bayley dominated the event. Yes, it was not even particularly close. You tend to get that. There's some of them that have been really, really... Aspire says 3,416 here, just above Big the Cat. Big the Cat says, finished with 346 matches. And you got 3,969. So, what was I saying? I feel like I was about to say something there. I feel like I was in the middle of a sentence and completely forgot what it was I was saying. I was talking about Bayley getting 100 matches, getting the variants. What else was I saying after that? Damn. Bayley over Lyra. Yes, right. Thank you, Spanner. We have seen PCCs that have completely dominated. I think there was one that was Randy Orton versus Miz, and Randy Orton destroyed him, I believe. But some of them have came a little bit closer than others, but we've never really seen one that it looks even immensely close. We've never seen one that's 4 million versus 5 million or such. There does seem to be one that tends to dominate when it comes to these events here. Shane Lee says, I ranked 8,000. That's pretty good. Congratulations. Let's take a look over here. So we have our free bonus pack here today. Let's go ahead and claim this. Get our 5 Knuckle Crunchers. And 2 Rarity Draft Picks. Well, those Rarity Draft Picks are good because we still need to find that second Jeff Hardy and that second Bob Backlund. It's not that one. And it's not that one either. Dang. Well, at least we can dust both of those. $187RT says, what up, homies? Welcome to my stream, RT. Spanner says, nice, Shane. Any card is still a card that only 9,999 others will have. That is true. That is true. So we've got Rule the Ring. Oh, Rule the Ring, actually. Could be very exciting here, because we might finish Rule the Ring here. And it does contain one of the following. So I'm very, very excited to see that. GT Pyro says, hello. Hello, GT Pyro. It's always nice to see GT Pyro in the chat. We're on the final ring now. Platinum pack. Oh, we've got a special Leviathan card here. The Assemble Headhausen, which I think we've already got. This one is the Power and Charisma. Yes, I think that might even be an F3 for us. We have a 2 and 3 chance of getting an additional spin. Let's go for the one on the right. And we've got it. And a 50-50 chance of completing Rule the Ring here. Nope, we're going to get one last Platinum pack here. It does have a Leviathan card. A Leviathan Ultimate Warrior. Oh no. I think people know how I feel about the Warrior. A wonderful wrestler. Fortunately, it's not a fan of people from the LGBTQ plus community, which I am indeed a part of. So, me and Ultimate Warrior's views, not really vibing with one another. Big the Cat says, only missing his legs. JD Pyro says, how are you? I am good. I am actually more than good. I am very, very happy that PCC is finished because I was sick and tired of grinding that event. We have a 1 in 3 chance here, folks, of getting the final spin and completing Rule the Ring here. I am going to go for... I think I'm going to go for the one on the left. K Breezy Forever says PCC grind is rough at times. It is very monotonous, I must say. Was it the middle one? Okay, it wasn't the middle one either. How much does it cost to continue? 950 credits? Absolutely not. No, claim and exit. We will do that tomorrow. So tomorrow we are guaranteed to finish Rule the Ring and get ourselves one of those. Let's jump into Ring Smasher. Okay, we're not allowed to do Ring Smasher yet. We will do that later then. Lights out then. Hold up, the daily streak is Drew McIntyre. Oh, very excited about that. I hadn't even looked at the daily streak today. I was so busy playing PCC, then just jumped right into the live stream. So that will be very interesting to see a Drew McIntyre. JD Power says, I'm glad it's over too, and I'm going to get the Bayley card, so pretty happy. Spanner says, right, always right. Well, if only you had said that beforehand, Spanner. Oh, I would have listened to you. Big Cat says, for me, it's always either the middle or the third on the last one, if I get that far. Lollipom says, I was shy by 5 points of finishing that last 750 points for the event. Finished with 645 of 750. I think Lollipom means 745 of 750. Yeah, it doesn't matter anyway, as the reward out of those packs aren't the best. Travis Waller says, I think I completed Rule the Ring yesterday. And I saw the price to continue and had the same reaction. Was never paying that. Spanner says, lol lolly, I actually got a Leviathan from the 750 pack. I nearly died of shock. Spanner also says, I also got my first Leviathan from a Boom Infinite pack today. 27th Infinite pack of the tier. Oh my goodness. You haven't played Boom in quite a while. G Pyro says, I always say when in doubt, pick the middle one. Well, in this instance, the middle one wouldn't have helped us either. Also, I have also seen that Sheamus has been moved to the Illumini section rather than the active wrestlers roster. Okay, we only need 5 more here. Wow. Yeah, but I think we're just going to claim an exit there. Do we need to continue? I don't think we do. Yeah, I think we're just going to claim an exit. Yep, I think we're good. Because it only gives you the Mattel Retros packs, which we don't really need. And we didn't get anything tremendous from those packs there. Let's take a look at our collectibles. We do have 121 of the Knuckle Crunchers, so we can go ahead and claim that. And we've run out of the large Mattel Retros, so we're just going to have to go for the small ones and see if we get lucky. We did not. We got a Rewind Rey Mysterio, which is the second worst reward that you can get. Pretty bad. But we can at least get ourselves a guaranteed Knuckle Crunchers here. And the one that we really want to see is the Seth Rollins, because he is the rarest one. We already have the LA Knight. We're going to get the Rey Mysterio from the quest, so the Seth Rollins would be the last one that we needed. But instead, we have a Pro LA Knight. Yeah. Which isn't the worst. Yeah, I think we'll go with that one. If we have to go for any. Let's wait for the chat to just disappear a second here. There we are, that will do. A level 100 LA Knight. And Lollybomb says, I found out that most of the time, the end cards in Lights Out have the ones you want. I usually uncover those. Lollybomb says, that's awesome, super. Travis says, I have honestly been so disappointed with Lights Out. Maybe it's just an RNG thing, though. Oh, Spanner says, I'm Sofa, by the way. Oh, Spanner is Sofa. You see, I just associate Genius of the Sofa and Spanner as being two separate people because I know Spanner so well from my live stream chats, and I know Genius of the Sofa so well from my W Supercard. So I have always considered Spanner and Sofa two different people, but it's very interesting to find out the same person. Lollybomb says Waves, says hello. And Spanner. Travis Waller says, how is your collection housing going? I believe there's still two that I need. JD Power says, I got Leviathan R-Truth from Crack the Case today, which shocked me. Spanner says, Crack the Case has Leviathans? Liar. Travis says, lol, absolutely shocking rewards in Crack the Case. Lollybomb says, Cody and Seth are stupid hard to get. They have an F2J, F3 Logan Paul, LA Knight, and Ray Sodom. I got the Cody Rhodes. Only a singular Cody Rhodes. But yes, he was the last one that I managed to get. So go ahead and fortify our Headhausen, symbol Headhausen here. And we'll train him up as well. And I think we're going to dust the rest of these. I know that we can make the Ultimate Warrior, but I don't even think we actually need any more Leviathan cards, if I'm completely honest. So let's just go ahead and dust. Oh, actually. Well, that was messed up. We do need to go into combinables here. I thought it was rewind. There it is, this ambush one that we need to make the pro of this Obafemi ambush here. Now we can go ahead and dust. Now, we did pull a rewind ambush, but we didn't need to make the pro of that. Yes, we will dust all of those. Spanner says, also, I think the gift pack is now Knuckle Crunchers, so no chance of getting the Cody from there. Lollipop says, I hope so, I won that limited edition Danhausen. Okay, chat, we have a 1 in 4 chance. This one's going to be 1, this one's going to be 2, this one's going to be 3, this one's going to be 4. Give me a number, chat. Number between 1 and 4. First one gets it. First one takes the responsibility. 38 people in the chat right now. JT Pyro says 3. Big the Cat also says 3. Oh, it's good to see that the Grand Cat Grand Fleet are agreeing with each other. So this one here is 1, this one 2, this one 3, this one's 4. So 3 is here. And unfortunately, for this, Ethan Page and Douglas Camp also agreed on 3. Lollybomb said 4. Well, Lollybomb got in there just a little bit too late. And we can dust these ones. Certainly. The GT Pyre says, Ego. Kill him with a smile. Kill him with a smile. And I think now we should be able to do Ring Smasher here. Let's get the guaranteed ones out of the way first. Not off to a fantastic start. Okay, it's getting a little bit better. Oh, okay. Right. Let's go for here then. This one. Here. Two unknowns, we have to take them. And one last one here. Ooh, okay. We've got 9 of the suitcases. So we only need one more green one. It is a 1 in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1 in 7 chance. Not very good odds. But we do still need 4 of the microphones, which we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Chat, help a big old Grand Cat out here. Let's go for the blue one. So we're only going after the blues. So let's put out some numbers here. So we're going to go from the top here. We're going to go across, and then we're going to go down, and so on and so forth. So number 1 is going to be here. This is your number 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Which one are we opening, chat? Number between 1 and 10. First one to say it gets it. Big the Cat says number 5. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 is this one here. Very well done, Big the Cat. Thank you for that. Very, very cool. Douglas Camp says 10. Well, it will now be number 9, but number 10 would be this one. So that's the one we're going to go with. Oh, Big the Cat and Douglas Camp. 2 for 2. Well done, Grand Cat Grand Fleet. We only need to find 2 more microphones here. JT Pyro says number 2. Can JT Pyro keep up the trend here? Number 2 is, of course, this is number 1. This is number 2. Unfortunately, JT Pyro, not quite as lucky, but JT Pyro had a lot more going against them. We now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 here, and we have 2 that are correct. So that is a 2 in 7 chance. Not easy to get. Spanner says, nice arrows. So, chat, I want to hear a number between 1 and 7. Preferably someone that hasn't had a chance yet, someone that hasn't joined in yet. And let's see a number between 1 and 7. So this one here is number 1, this is number 2, this is number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, and then number 7 is all the way down here. Let's hear a number between 1 and 7. First number gets it. Spanner says, I don't know anyone else at all who says, dang it. Always makes me chuckle. Yes, it's part of big old Grand Cat's phrasing. Yes, dang it. Travis Waller says, lol. Now, chat, if one of you could take a stab in the dark between 1 and 7, don't worry about getting it wrong. But if you get it right, imagine the glory. Imagine the honor. JT Pyro says, the right one. Baron Ransack Von Joy says number 5. This is here 1, 2, 3, 4's over here. This one here is number 5. Let's see if the Baron can guide us in the right direction. Unfortunate. I think now we could continue here. But we're already at 15. No, I think we're going to claim an exit actually. We have not spent any credits. Let's go ahead and claim an exit here. We still need to find 2 more microphones, and then after that we need to find 1 more chest, one more green Money in the Bank briefcase. So yeah, Spanner says you'd have to hit like a 1 in 10 for the green. Nah man, yep. We're going to go ahead and claim an exit there. It would cost far too much to try and complete. And some wonderful rewards as always. Utter in the wise words of Dudley from Street Fighter 3, gutter trash. Or in the wise words of Gunther, street trash. You did get 3 retro draft picks and 2 Mattel retro tokens though, so that's nice. Jamie Williams says hi. Hello, Jamie Williams. I think he also mashed his pad when he hit enter as well. Travis says, I don't think the rewards will even be worth it. Everyone's got all 3 things maxed out and got nothing. Hanny Lasso says hi. Hello, Hanny Lasso. So we have 3 here, and we can open all 3 of them. But ideally, we would like to see either the Jeff Hardy or the Bob Backlund. Chat, give me a number between 1 and 3. Hanny Lasso says number 3. So this one's here's 1, this one's here's 2, this one here's 3. 3's down here. Unfortunately, that was a mere Dragon Lee. 1 or 2. Iron Metal 2 says 2. Well, it's in his name, so perhaps he will get lucky. Number 2 is going to be this one. Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Okay, chat, does anyone want to give me a 1? There is one option here. I want a number between 1 and 1. Baron Ransack Von Joy says 1. Well, Baron, let's see if you are correct. GT Pyro says 5. Unfortunately, GT Pyro, that is right out. Will it be a Bob Backlund or a Jeff Hardy, which would both be pros for us? Oh, we finally got the pro Bob Backlund. Thank you, Baron, for that. Very much appreciated. There is indeed our pro. And we are going to screenshot that. There he is. We're going to see what the pro of the Bob Backlund looks like probably in the next video. Travis Waller says, way. That is very, very cool indeed. Actually, we will maybe keep those ones because we're probably going to have to use them to train up our Bob Backlund here. Let's go to Combinable here. And Bob Backlund, let's train him up. Actually, I think we'll just use a Charlotte Flair here to train him up. Hanny Lasso says, I still need a team. Well, you are welcome to join my team. In order to do so, just join the Discord in the description below. Once the space opens up, you'll be welcomed to join in. Iron Marcel says, congrats, the Grand Cat. And Douglas Camp says, congrats on the pro. Annie Lasso says, yes, for sure. Now, do bear in mind, it can take a little while for you to get in. Do not be impatient and do not be demanding. Do not demand to get your way into the team. That won't do any favours for you at all. If you be patient and you be persistent, you keep saying, hey, is there a space open? Then eventually there will be a space open and you will be brought in. But do not go demanding and do not go leaving the server in an angry huff because you did not get into the server, or you did not get into the team, sorry, because that won't do any favours for you at all. Louis Du says, nice card. Hope I pronounced your name correctly. I've never seen the letters DWU in a row before. Spanish says, check this video for a link to the Discord, Haniel, and make sure to let us know that you're interested in joining so a leader can point you in the right channels of the queue to join the team. Shane Lee says, got too many cards to work on. Kenneth says, have you pulled the Jeff card yet? I have pulled a Jeff card, but I have not pulled the Pro yet. The Jeff card that I got, of course, was from the quest. And if we go into mails, I guess, we can see the Jeff Hardy down here. But we have indeed got the Pro Bob Backlund, and I am told that the Pro Matt Hardy will be coming along soon. And I believe we're also getting another special edition, as well as a collaboration coming soon. So a lot more special editions. Lou says it's hard to get. Is it still valid to pull? Yes, I believe so. Travis says these event cards seem a lot more difficult to pull from the draft board and retro draft board. Well, I think the idea is it gives you something to work towards. Spanner says Lita next Monday as well. Oh my goodness, I didn't know that there was a Lita, a second Lita. My goodness. Kai Jeffrey says, what rank does Grand Cat get in PCC? Last time we checked, it was around 1050. Could change though. Spanner says it was going to be a week on Friday, but they moved it, I believe. Ken says, so you got that one from the quest, nothing from the board. I've done 200 plus rare draft pulls, nothing yet. Big Cat says his SummerSlam 19 Halloween image looks good on it. Hanny Lasso says, when we get the PCC rewards, I think Big the Cat is referring to the Jeff Hardy. And are we talking about this SummerSlam 19 Halloween card? That could be the one he's referring to. The Zombie Jeff Hardy. Personally, I quite like this little image here, and that's the one that I'm going to stick with. And as I said, when do we get the PC rewards? It generally tends to take roughly an hour. Ken says, so has anyone pulled it from the rare draft board? Is it possible? Oh, Big the Cat says, no, the skeleton. Ah, I know the skeleton one you're talking about, of course. It is this one. That is the one that he is referring to. And it says, up the 4th is cool. Up the 4th? I don't know what that means. But yes, PCC rewards generally tend to take roughly an hour. Sometimes they can arrive sooner, sometimes they can arrive later. But they will eventually arrive, and that is about the best that we can expect. Hannah also says the 4th picture, sorry. The 4th picture, eh? Let's try that one. This one? Okay, I can see that. Lollabomb says, I bought a pack for Jeff on the store and got both the new and old Jeff F2. Well worth the credit, still trying to get Jeff off the rare draft board. Oh, I didn't even know there was a Jeff pack in the store. Let's go ahead and take a look at the store then. Ah, this one. 10% chance at this Jeff Hardy and a 10% chance at this one. Very, very cool if you manage to get both of them from that. Very lucky indeed. We are one away off of our next Mattel Retros small pack. Now, here's the interesting thing. We have 3 of 5 here. Of course, we know that once they run out, they disappear. After that, do we just have no reason to collect the Mattel Retros tokens? Are they just useless? Dog Scam says, I wish there was a draft board for a chance for Jeff Hardy or Bob be like the LE pool of purple, so you know you got one. Oh, yeah, well, that would be cool. I mean, I wouldn't wish for that. That seems a little bit more. But it's, yeah, it would be a nice little thing that W Supercard could imply in there. Leon says, hi. Hello, Leon. Hi, Lazo says, I pulled 3 of this NBA card. I don't know the name, I forgot. I believe that is Brunson? Jalen Brunson, I believe his name is. Jalen Brunson, yes, there he is. I've got an F1 of him as well. Tommy Tyson says, how can I get my Bayley from the event? Don't worry, it will be sent out to you probably within the next half hour. So just be patient and it will arrive. Spanner says, I have 183 useless retro tokens right now. It's Riptide Fuel all over again. It'll be in your mailbox when it comes to me. Big the Cat says, I pulled a Jalen Brunson from the Earth draft board. I did too. Travis Waller says, good point actually, because you pulled them from the normal draft board, so what happens after? Well, I mean, Spanner says that they have 183 useless retro tokens, so they are just useless from that point. I'm quite happy that I managed to pull the Demon of the Deep, and of course we also pulled the Pro of our Riptide Ravager. But unfortunately I did not manage to get the Pro of the Wasteland Warden. So that is the only one that managed to evade us. GD Pyre says, I only need one more retro token to get 100. Oh, you're very, very close to it then. You just need to find one more. Let's take a look at our quests here. We do have the retro draft pick from the Jey Uso here. We need to win a match using Rey Mysterio 48 more times and win games of 24/7. And other than that, I think that is all that we need to do. Hannah Lasso says, I have the Wasteland on Pro. I am also... That's the only one that I'm missing. And I'm hoping that when Leviathan tier is going to end, that they'll do the Reward Mania. And we can get a chance of pulling the Pro Wasteland Warden from that one. That would be pretty cool. Big the Cat says, I play Boom for the retro ones. Yeah, I haven't actually been playing Boom. I probably should be, but I no longer really need the retro tokens. And I've already got the Cody Rhodes. I've got the Pro LA Knight and the Pro of the Jey Uso. So the only Mattel one that I'm actually looking for would be another Cody, just to get the Pro of him. But even at that, we've already got one Cody, and that's all we needed for this. One thing we do need to do is, of course, this is our Monday Night Raw. And we need to defend our Intercontinental Championship. Also, I have been on Raw since WrestleMania. And since WrestleMania, I have held the World title. I've held the Intercontinental title, the Women's Intercontinental title. But this freaking Women's World title has never once been available because Mid Morgan, yes, that's right, not Liv Morgan, Mid Morgan has yet to defend her freaking Women's World Championship on any meaningful show. And because of that, it has not been available, which is just frustrating all the same. I really feel like the women's division could do with a good old boot up the bottom to actually give us some decent and proper storylines. I think that whoever is in charge of writing the women's division at the moment on WWE needs to be fired out of a cannon into the sun and replaced by someone that can do some decent freaking Storylines, preferably one where titles are actually defended. Instead, we had Liv Morgan in the Queen of the Ring, where she lost in the finals to Io Sky, who then immediately challenged Liv Morgan to a title match at SummerSlam. And then the King of the Ring was won by Obafemi, and who was Obafemi going to face? Was he going to face for the world title? Was he going to face for the WWE Championship? No, he was instead going to face Brock Lesnar in a Hell of a Cell. So, why did the King of the Ring happen? Big the Cat says PCC inbox. JT Power says I really wanted a pro Demon of the Deep. Spanner says I didn't get any Monsters Pro, nor even one copy of the Rhea throwback. Spanner says Riptide was a right dud for me. Lewis says rewards are in. Travis says lol. Spanner says it's alright, she'll beat Io and be declared the greatest women's champion of all time. The wise words of Peter Griffin. She really grinds my gears. Lou says, don't we get a pro if we chose the opposite card win in the web store? And Lasso says, why don't I get the 1,000 coins? I had over 2,000 points. Leon says, oh my lord, what was that? That was my Liv Morgan impression, or my Mid Morgan impression, if you will. Let's go ahead and claim our rewards, shall we? There we are. There's the People's Champion results. Oh, we got the People's Champion Challenge slot completed. And the Event Championship is now completed as well. Oh, we've done it. Finally, we've finally got it. And we've also completed the Event Champion slot. So that is also very, very cool as well. So we got rank number 1051. We got 4,945 points. Let's go ahead and screenshot that, just in case I want to use that for anything later. Let's go ahead and claim our Bayley. There she is. Rank number 1051. There is Bayley. Very, very cool indeed. And we are going to lock that down, of course. And of course, the People's Champion. Screenshot that one as well. Rank number 1051. 4,945 points. Go ahead and claim. Gives us 1,000 credits. And a rarity draft pick as well. Alright, chat, I'm going to have to see a number between 1 and 16 right about now. GT Pyro says, I got 1,511. Lollybomb says 8. Good work, Lollybomb. You got in there early. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Second line is 5, 6, 7, 8. So we are going to go for this one. Let's see if Lollybomb can pull us the pro charismatic enigma Jeff Hardy. Unfortunately, that is probably the furthest from Jeff Hardy that you can get, unless Paul Heyman does the Swanton Bomb in a manner which I have never seen before. I think we would have to call that the Walrus Ton Bomb rather than the Swanton Bomb instead. Alkangeshi says, hi, hello. At least I hope I pronounced your name correctly. And this is number 7. Spanner says he's still pulled, though. Yes, that's true. And we have the maximum number of equipment cards. That is fine. Now let's go ahead and train up our Bayley here. There she is. Is there not a limited edition Bayley? Maybe there hasn't been. In fact, do we even have any cool special edition Baileys? I think that Bayley deserves a little bit more love when it comes to WWE Supercard, because her images are not fantastic. Like, most people have, like, a really cool special one, but Bayley doesn't really have anything new or different. I think I'm just going to have to stick with this image for Bayley, unfortunately. Normally I like to change the image up, but, well, seems to be what we have. That'll do. Bigger Cat says, Bayley images are mid, Supercard, do better. So our Bayley, at rank number 1051, at Live 100, without any variants and without any matches, has 1.239 million in power, 1.326 million in toughness, 1.526 million in speed, and 1.591 million in charisma. Very, very cool indeed. Now, speaking of equipment, we're going to have to go to equipment here. We're going to have to detach all. And we are going to dust the remaining cards that we have here. Travis Walker says, do you have any advice for saving rewards for the next tier? I don't really think you really need to save rewards for the next tier. Going through campaign mode really helps out a lot with the beginning. And as you probably have noticed from the Leviathan tier, the regular pros don't help tremendously once you start getting all the special edition stuff. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. I think the best way to prepare for a new tier is to find yourself a decent team, and they will hopefully get you the event cards from each one. So at the moment, we're in a road to glory here, as you can see. It's going to give you the following. It's going to give you a Leviathan Trick Williams, and if you have a decent enough team, they should be able to get you that final reward there. And of course, you also get a reward from ring domination. So just rely on those, and of course, try and get yourself the event cards from each event, and that will help you out. One thing I do tend to keep is when we get this objective counter up to 100, I'll leave that until the next tier, because really I don't need any more Leviathan cards, so that is fine. And also, generally, do we lose the audio? Try doing that, reset the audio. But generally, your limited edition cards, is there no audio? Okay, there we go, go into wild. No, okay, the audio is there, it's doing the little startup bit before it goes into the actual music. That's what it is. But, yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about going into a new tier, if I'm completely honest. Alkanesh says, do we have free battle pass? Do we have a free battle pass? Not that I'm aware of. Tony Ross says, I got 886. Big Cat says, I put her flip image on it. Travis Waller says, okay, thank you. Well, thank you for the question. Very much appreciate it. Giving Big Ol' Grandcat anything to talk about always helps. Let's check our battle pass, actually. We have managed to make it down past level 24, and we are approaching level 25. And I've been thinking about it, and I think I'm just going to make an F2 of the Miz. I don't think I'm going to bother having two separate pros. So once we get to level 35, we will just keep the cards together. And once the next Battle Pass comes out, which will be SummerSlam tier, we will get the Miz from that, and that will be completely fine. Speaking of our Battle Pass quest, still have one more to do, which is win matches using the Miz, and that will give us an additional Brie or Nikki Bella to put that up to an F1. Now, the other thing we need to do here is do our matches for Road to Immortality. So we're going to go into leagues here. We're going to change this to all females. And then we're going to do the men's Intercontinental title. Now, this can take a little while, folks, so strap in. So we need a deck size of 40, and it's all power and speed. But before we do that, let's go into the store here. We'll claim our free pack. You see that it's got CM Punk on the front of it there. I think they might know. We've got 6 rarity draft picks here. Okay, chat. Time for numbers. I want to see numbers between 1 and 15. Go. Go, chat. Let me see if any of you can pull a Jeff Hardy from these 15 rare draft picks. Big the Cat says number 6. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is here. Oh, whoa, Big the Cat! Another Ultimate Warrior. Well, at least that's an F1. Alkangashi says number 10. So let's try that one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is here. It's a Montez Ford. Douglas Camp says number 4. Ayad Abrium, I think, says number 1. So we'll go for number 1. We've got 2 left here, folks. This is the audience participation part of the game. I want to see 2 more numbers here. Anywhere between 1 and 16 is fine. I will try my best to work around those. Big the Cat says number 3. Now, Big the Cat, you were tremendous last time. So this would have been 1, this is 2, this is number 3. So this one's number 3 here. That was Rey Mysterio. Unless he meant number 3 to be the one underneath that. Shane Lee says, just got my Bayley. It's number 9036. Tony Ross says number 7. Well, Tony, I think we're going to change this up a little bit because this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 would be here. Yeah, okay, let's just go for that one. That one would have been number 7. There's another Montez Ford. Okay, unfortunate. Did not get the Jeff Hardy, but we did pull an F1 Ultimate Warrior, thanks to Big the Cat. So we'll lock that one down, and we can dust the rest of these, which is going to give us an additional rarity draft pick. Travis Waller says Warrior is quite strong in the tier. No? Yeah, probably. Alright, chat. Give me a number. This is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Ankagashi says the last one. Lollibum says number 5. I'm more willing to go with number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is here. That was an Alundra Blaze. Ankagashi says number 11, but it was a little bit too late. We already went for number 5 with Lollibum. Does that be an actual number? Do not go saying the last one. That doesn't make the game very fun. It's much better if you actually choose the card rather than just saying, whatever. That's the way that I feel about it, at least. I don't know if any of you all feel the same. But that's how the big old Grand Cat plays. So, let's go into our matches here. So, we have to have our top 40 cards, and it all has to be power and speed. So, let's autofill. Logan Paul is our strongest when it comes to power and speed, ahead of our limited edition King Kong Bundy? Really? Oh, good lord. Wow. I'm shocked. Okay, so currently we get between 126 and 156, where we need to get is over 145 million at the moment. Now, we can improve this number by adding equipment to all of our wrestlers here. We are looking for power and we are looking for speed. So I know for a fact that our Immortals Roman Reigns here is going to get his Roman Reigns music, the Roman Reigns I Am Greatness, which is going to improve his power. So he's going to get that one. And now we're going to look at the rest of our deck here. So, do we have any equipment here that goes for power or speed for any males? Yokozuna has power, but I don't think he even fits in our top 20. We've got Trick Williams' coat here. Okay. So that's tempting. Okay, this one is all speed. So that's fine. Big old Otis here. So we're looking for power and speed. Trish Stratus Monster Truck will be fine here. Royce Keys. I think you're going to take the Yokozuna. Let's check and make sure the Yokozuna is not in here. Well, actually, Yokozuna is. Okay. So you are not going to get the Yokozuna Assault Bucket because that will go to Yokozuna instead. Instead, the Charlotte Flair Airboat. Big Yoko is going to get his Salt Bucket to get the additional power from that one. Jalen Brunson's our next up. And then King Kong Bundy over here. Followed by their Jey Uso. And now we're getting to the point where we're just looking for anything that is even remotely close to speed or power. Now I think there's an... No, there isn't a Vikingo. There's Lady Flamer, and there's the Elio LaFleur, but there isn't anything for the Vikingo yet. Then we'll have to do... Don't have anything here for Kane. These two both add to speed. This is all charisma as well, all toughness. There's a little bit of power in here. So speed, this one has power. So at this point we're just using anything that has power speed on them because we have so many things that we need to run through here. Now I think we might actually have some Trick Williams. There we go. So we're going to give him his coat. If anyone sees me overlooking anything, please do stop me. Unfortunately, this does just drag out a little. There is not much we can do about it. It's just what needs to happen here so that we can defend our Intercontinental title. If any of you have ever wondered what it requires to do Road to Immortality, this is pretty much it. It'd be so much nicer if there was some way of auto-equipping the best equipment, but unfortunately WWE Supercard haven't thought of that yet, so instead we need to sit here and do it manually. And it does take an edge for it to happen. Spanner says, for anyone who has the Bossman nightstick, I don't. And then they deleted the message. My goodness, very rude. Yeah, I do have the Bossman nightstick here. It's equipped to Bronson Reed. I don't have the... Spanner says, ignore that, I was wrong. I do have the Bossman nightstick, but I don't have the Bossman Mattel Creation one that is available on the Backstage Pass. We're now getting to the point of just throwing whatever we've got here. Anything that gives anything to power or speed, and it's not toughness or charisma. And unfortunately, I think we are approaching the end here because we don't really have a tremendous amount else to give. The rest of these are all pretty dire, unfortunately. You can see here that we are now past these points. Actually, this one's okay. They aren't the best. But we will make do with what we have. Chris Warren says, did they already give out the rewards? They did, indeed. Accra says, Accra Oscar says, if I chose Lyra, I'll get her, I'll get the Bayley card. You get the Bayley card. Everyone gets the same card that won. But if you do want the Lyra, she will be available in the Backstage store. However, it will cost you some Backstage tokens. I think it's 3,500 if memory serves correctly. And you will need to get 2 of them to make a pro if you want to actually use your Lyra Valkyria. But if you want just the image, you just need to get yourself 1 of them. I myself shall be ignoring it because I don't really need the Lyra, unfortunately. Bayley, and I hate how that's how that works. Akraf says she. Rylan says hi. Akraf says, I wanted a Lyra so bad. You can still get her. It's just that it is unfortunately on the web store. Of course, backstage tokens instead. Okay, we're very quickly approaching the end here. That one will do. And there we go. So we want to put our top 5 here, so everyone except for the Roman Reigns, onto momentum to give us a little bit higher. It's currently between 136.2 to 169.8. Let's go ahead and put momentum on those males. I think that might be the right 5. Need to check. Nope, it's Jalen Brunson instead of Chad Gable. And we now deal between 137.2 million and 171.1, and we are aiming to get over 146. So let's go ahead and jump in and see if we can defend our Intercontinental title. We got 158 million, almost 159 million, which is a little bit more than 146 million. So I think that should be fine. I think we should get to stay in the top 500 with that. And the next thing is to do the female match, which we only need the top 25 females, and it has to be a deck size of 25 here. I'm going to go ahead and autofill, and thankfully we can click on the flip cards for this one. So this one, it is everything apart from charisma. So power, toughness, and speed is what we are aiming for with these ones. So we're just going to wait a couple of seconds here for this to update itself. If we back out and go back in, we can see whenever it wants to load. Ryland says, how are you doing today? I'm good. More than happy. PCC is finished. We're currently at rank 83, so I think I'm quite happy at that rank there. I'm not going to reroll, I'm not going to use my other tokens here. So instead, what we're going to do now, we're going to go to our equipment here. We're going to detach all, so that those are all taken off the male wrestlers. We're going to go into the female ones here, and let's start equipping some equipment again. So we want to be in the top 500 here. We need to get over 158 million. Currently we're between 123 and 168 million. So we need to do a little bit more here. And of course the rewards are, you get 200,000 fans for being in the top 500, you get 150,000 fans for being in the top 1,000, for being in the top 1,500 you get 100,000, for being in the top 2,000 you get 75,000, and so on and so forth. And if you're ranked below 3,000 you get minus 10,000 fans. So you certainly want to be above that 71 million there. Ryland says, do you watch Dragon Ball? I do. I have seen all of Dragon Ball, all of Dragon Ball Z, all of Dragon Ball GT, all of Dragon Ball Super, all of the movies, all of the OVAs, and I am fairly sure that I have played every single Dragon Ball game with the exception of one on the Famicom. I am a very, very large Dragon Ball fan, and I am prepared to answer any questions that you may have on Dragon Ball Z. Meantime, while you're asking me questions, I will set up my equipment for this. So we don't need those. Rylan says, who is your favourite character? It is Vegeta. Vegeta has been my favourite character since I was but a young cat. When I was coming of age, the adversity that Vegeta showed, taking on all the Z fighters by himself, and even taking out Nappa, and then the struggles that he had on Namek really spoke out to me, and then seeing him finally turn Super Saiyan against the androids, I thought was very cool, very tremendous. And it's unfortunate that Vegeta never truly got his time to shine. He never really became the tremendous superstar that we all wanted him to be. But Vegeta was always my favorite. The version that I think is the absolute coolest of Vegeta is very controversial because I think it's Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, and it's the very cool, the Final Shine, as opposed to the Final Flash, which is the green version of the Final Flash that he uses in Dragon Ball GT. I think is one of the coolest moves. But when Gogeta, the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, does the Big Bang Kamehameha, I think it was absolutely tremendous, even though we never get to see the move in its proper form. We get to see the joke version, and then we get to see one right before he unfuses. So, yes. Turos says, Gohan is my favourite. What do you think of his Beast mode? Yes, the Beast Gohan, the version looks really cool. It is finally an upgraded version of the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan from the Cell Saga, and it's a male adult version with the silver hair on him. I think it's very cool. I also very much appreciate that Piccolo got an upgrade in that movie as well, going to Orange Piccolo. Very nice indeed as well. Ryland says, which transformation of Vegeta is your favourite? I already mentioned it, but Super Saiyan 4 is my favourite of the Vegetas. I think it's just, with GT, it gives you the full arc of Vegeta being the villain possessed by Baby, and the Golden Uzaru, the Great Ape Vegeta, being the villain of that version again, and then Vegeta, when he goes into the Golden Uzaru form, he's able to take control of it, which Goku was not, and then he powers through it and evolves into the Super Saiyan 4 form of Vegeta, which I think is really cool. I also think that the Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta form looks really nice as well. The Super Saiyan 4 Goku, I think, looks a little bit more goofy, but the Vegeta one, I think, is a much more cooler, sleeker design. Travis says, I do not think I've ever felt so confused in a conversation in my life. That is because we are discussing Dragon Ball as opposed to wrestling. If you want to ask me more wrestling-related questions, I'll be happy to answer them as well. So in the meantime, let us get into these here. So we've got the Charlotte Flair airboats, which give speed, but we want to give the Rhea Ripley, but we don't want it to be to Charisma. We want it to be everything apart from Charisma. So this one's also Charisma, dang it. This one is Speed and Power. Okay, we can work with that one. And our Charlotte Flair here. We do have a Charlotte Flair airboat, which is perfect. We've got another Charlotte Flair airboat here as well. Fortunately, that one gives to Charisma twice, so we don't want to go using that one if we can avoid it. This one's much better. Asuka doesn't have anything special. Liv Morgan does. She has her, not the monster truck, it is the Liv Morgan plane here. Got another Rhea, which means we have another Rhea plane. That one will do. Paige, does she have anything? She does, but it's for Charisma. And there's also Liv Morgan Watch Me, but it's also for Charisma, so I think we will leave that for just now. I don't think Kairi Sane has anything. Well, Kairi Sane actually does have her umbrella. We don't have the Leviathan version, we just have this version, but we will give it to her. Trish has her monster truck. Ryland says, my favorite transformation of Vegeta is Majin Vegeta. Yes, very, very cool moment in Dragon Ball Z as well. Tony Ross says, I can't wait to see Vegeta's Ultra Ego form. Yes. Travis Waller says, no, please continue. I meant it's different strokes for different folks, sort of thing. Happy to listen and maybe learn if I can eventually understand what is going on. The thing is, Dragon Ball Z is one of those things, it's like One Piece. It is so massive that it's really, really difficult to get into. That is the only one major issue I have with One Piece, is that it's so hard to have someone that's never watched it join in before, because there's so much that you have to backtrack with, and it is crazy the amount of stuff that is in there. Let's just go ahead and put toughness on Asuka here. Kairi has her thing. Paige doesn't, so let's give Paige something which could be that Rhea Ripley plane, but I think it's going to be the Roman Reigns greatness. AJ Lee is going to need something as well. Now, AJ Lee, I believe, does have the Charisma boots, which doesn't help here, because Charisma is the only one that we don't need, power, speed, and toughness. Rylan says, do you have a Dragon Ball Legends account so I can add you? I do not. I used to play a Dragon Ball mobile game, and while I was in Japan one day, it would not let me log in. I couldn't find any internet anywhere to log in. There was an update that was needed, and it wouldn't let me log in. By the time I had logged in, I had missed the daily streak, and I lost a daily streak of like, I think it was like 600 days or something. So at that point, I was like, oh, no, that's me, I'm done. I just uninstalled the game right then and there. Charlie Jackson says, hi. Hello, Charlie. Welcome to the stream. So we are currently in the middle of setting up Road to Immortality, he said, forgetting what it was called. Which we have to use power, speed, and toughness, but not charisma. So that's what we are trying to set up. We're trying to set up the best equipment that we have here. The best equipment that does not involve charisma, of course. Now, Maxine Dupree also has her little tape, but I think that one is also charisma, if I am correct. Wherever it is, did I go past it? Oh, there it is. It does have power and toughness on it, but yeah, we will go ahead and use it then. There's second Trish here. It's going to have to be that one. Chelsea Green. Now, Asuka, once again. And we've only got 9 left here to go. Actually, do we have a Soul Rika? We do. She should have her surfboard. Tony Ross says, do you play Dragon Ball Dokkan Battle? I believe that was the mobile game that I used to play. Ryan says, yeah, I'm an OG. I played Dragon Ball Legends when it first came out. Ah, very good. There's some of the Dragon Ball games that I didn't think was all that tremendous, particularly on the Xbox. I'm a fan of the old school Dragon Ball games, particularly the ones on the SNES. I quite like them, but even stuff like Tenkaichi Battle 1, 2, and 3. Those ones are pretty cool. And I like myself the little side scroller. There's actually some really, really good games on the Game Boy Advance. Or was it the DS? I can't remember. But where it follows, it's like a little RPG. And it really, really goes through all of the stages of Dragon Ball and then into the start of Dragon Ball Z. I think the first one ends with Frieza, and then the second one you play as Gohan, and it goes all the way through the Cell story, and I think it might even go all the way up to the end of Boo. But yeah, that was a really cool little game. I can't remember what it was called, but it's very, very entertaining. Round deleted the message. Did I played all the OG Dragon Ball games? User says, oh yeah. Oh, it says yo, but it translates to oh yeah. Rylan says, I'm sorry I didn't mean to put that damn keyboard messed up. Oh, I see, okay. How does the brand thing work? I don't even understand, says Evan. Literally, you just choose Raw or SmackDown once you get enough fans, and then you just compete when it tells you to do so. That's pretty much all that it is. And if you stay within the top 500, then you get to have a title when it's a title match. Otherwise, you get to win whatever the reward it says is available at that particular time. These are the last two here. Jordan Grace. I'm looking for anything that isn't really charisma. And Maxine Dupree is the last one here. It might be this one. I think this maybe gives just a little bit more. Then we click autofill. Then our top 5 here. The 2 foils, the Rhea's, and the Charlotte. That's what we want to put momentum on. Swap this over to females here. And it's not the Trish Stratus, but it's the Rhea instead, I believe. Yes, that is correct. So we are now dealing between 136.5 million and 188.5. And we need to beat 159 million. So we're going to have to get lucky here. Let's see how we get on. $175 million is pretty good. And we need to beat 159 million. So I think we are going to be okay with that. Now, I don't think that will update immediately. User says, I don't know why it said, oh yeah. It's the translation. Yo must translate to oh yeah in some other language, which is absolutely hilarious. Said something really we didn't get to see what it was, so I am completely fine with that. So we're still ranked number 87 on the Intercontinental title. Just need to wait a little bit for the women's match to update. But I think we'll be in the top 500 of that one at least. Well, chat, we haven't done this for a little while, but shall we watch an ad together? Let's see. Oh no, there was a problem playing the ad. Okay, if we back out and go back in, then can we watch the ad? This is something that I used to do a long time ago with live streams. We would watch an ad together, and generally they are hideous and hilarious. Turno says, have you played Dragon Ball Z Kakarot? It takes ages to play through the whole Dragon Ball Z saga. I've not actually. You just reminded me that I have not actually played that one, and I have seen that it's got a DLC that runs all the way through Super as well. Oh my goodness, no, there's still a problem playing the ad. Oh, that sucks. Oh well, I guess I'll just have to watch that myself later then. And we are now ranked number 43. We only need to be in the top 500. So being ranked 43 means I think we are good to stay here. I think we will be completely fine. I feel like the Road to Immortality thing has kind of lost a little bit of its charm, a little bit of its luster. People aren't quite as interested any longer. I think when the belts first went up, people were all excited about trying to complete them all. There you can see we've completed the event belt. We got all of the stars on it. But I think they just kind of exist now without people tremendously caring. Earn different WWE titles, 0 of 16. Well, we have earned a lot of belts here, so why hasn't that one updated? This game sometimes. So the last one we need to do is complete the game mode championship, which is this one. Yes, it requires you to win 25 King of the Rings, open 250 Money in the Bank briefcases, get 75 boom milestones. We've got 41 and 20 Super Showdown milestones. Well, I mean, we are fairly close to it, but I don't know if I particularly care about getting this championship belt either. It doesn't look anything particularly special. And there's the Supercard Ultimate Championship Collector, which you do need to complete Season 1. And if you have not been playing since Season 1 and actively trying to get all the cards since Season 1, I don't know how you're supposed to get that, because I have been playing all the way since back in Season 1, but you can see there that I'm still missing quite a decent number of Legendary, Survivor, and WrestleManias, so I don't know how anyone's expected to get that at this point. So instead, I am quite happy to just have the Season 2 belt equipped to me, as opposed to the Season 1 belt, and I don't think I particularly care about trying to grab this one, even if it does have a line on it. And I'm pretty sure they put the line on there specifically for me, to just be like, oh, you want the Grand Cat title? And I'm like, not that bothered. I could take it or I could leave it. Spanish says they need to completely overhaul what Road to Immortality actually does, or abandon it. Actually, I am completely fine with Road to Immortality not giving any rewards. I think if it gave proper rewards, like cards, it would be awful, because then people would be missing out on stuff. I think having it purely aesthetic is definitely 100% the way to keep it, because we do not want... Could you imagine if there was something like, there's a belt, there's a card that you can get that you only get if you get the world title, and you have to be in the top 50? Oh, that would be awful. That would be absolutely atrocious. Oh, no, absolutely not. No, thank you. Well, we have been live streaming for 2 hours. We can actually tell you how long. It is 2 hours and 4 minutes. So I think I am getting prepared to wind up the stream. And Spanish says, oops, mistype. And once I finish up that, I'm going to watch this ad, and then I'm going to play some Team Road to Glory. I am, of course, also going to do today's daily streak, which I have not yet done. And then I am going to prepare myself for watching tonight's Monday Night Raw live, which will hopefully be exciting. So with that said, folks, that is now going to be it for this little video, and I really hope that you have all enjoyed. And if you did enjoy it, Omar says, what rank did you get in PCC? 1051. Great timing there. But if you did enjoy it, please give me a like, share, and subscribe. And if you are subscribed, make sure you click that notification icon so that you can see when more of these glorious little videos go out. And we shall see you all in the next video. Goodbye, everybody. Travis Fuller says, thank you for the live stream. Enjoyed it. Yeah, thank you, Travis.